on. So we're here, man. One Nation Radio 12-year anniversary. Wow. I'm looking at the calendar right now, and it's September 10th, 2024. It's always week one of the NFL season, which is basically the new season of O&R, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Season
premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, for me, it's even a little bit, more special, or it's a little more I don't know if I'm using the right word. I'm probably going to ramble on and be emotional right now, but like, my dad died a year ago to this day now, between September 9th and 10th, and here I am 1 year later with James, and I just like reflected so like earlier today, like about and leading up to this and having different conversations with people on the network, and seeing what this thing is all like kind of grown into, talking to Catherine, and like, she was like, you put so much of yourself into this or whatever. And I thought, I was like, yeah, man, like I haven't been as fortunate yet to become a father or anything yet. Right. And I think I have a 12-year-old podcast, and it's like the thing that I've put my energy into, besides like the music and stuff like that, is like the last 12 years has been this show, this network, building this community, even at the detriment sometimes of my home life. And this show started in my living room 2012. We were listening to like Meek Mill, I'm a Boss, I remember, was the first instrumental we ever played as the intro to this show. And I just see how big this thing has like become, like as far as like people are able to like recognize, like Jeremy and Josh, like they're throwing events in different cities, and like they're over in the New Japan community in the way they are. Like that's like something that I feel like immense pride in, that they were able to get that shit cracking like that. Our new people that have joined the podcast network this year, that I handpicked and recruited both of them. Like, and I'll say it here, like in contingency plans, because there's a lot going on, with as far as like, I lost my dad last year. There's always like more stuff, music wise, that has been opening up for me, and bigger opportunities and stuff like that. And I wanted to make sure that, I kind of left something behind if, when the day comes, or if the day ever comes that I can't do One Nation Radio anymore. That's why I'm so proud to have Tristan and Sarah on this network, who cracked it open in their own way. Tunnel Talk, who cracked it open in their own way. Like, it completely, I value the styles of and approaches of the people that contribute to this thing. Floyd and All Things Elite with Austin, like, keeps me so entertained. And Floyd, I have a special relationship with Floyd, I feel like, because when it was like I met him, didn't know him or whatever, talked to him. We have, he's a little bit older than me. We got different tastes, in wrestlers, but it's always been love. And I met him, and the first time, he's just such a great guy and has a great spirit about him. And I was able to, with Floyd, and how he started his show, we wanted to make sure his stuff got off, and popping like that. Like, and I did a podcast with him, and we interviewed Montezzi, who I didn't know, because Montezzi had a song about Cody Rhodes. And I found out Montezzi lived 20 minutes from me, and it wouldn't have happened without Floyd. And in that relationship with me and Montezzi, we become good friends. He hooks me up with Swerve. Swerve doesn't know me from Adam, essentially. And at this point, like, I meet Swerve like as an artist. Like, it's like, hey, like, it's not like a fan and a wrestler situation. It's like and it's like the relationship was born out of music that we all made at like the craziest point in perhaps American history, like with 2020, immediately after George Floyd, and we formed like our own little thing or whatever that has come out of it and is rocking to this day. I think, between Floyd, Montezi, and then my relationship with Swerve, I feel like I became a better podcaster with my relationship with Swerve because I'm learning more how the business works and being, trusted like with information that he will tell me for me or whatever. And then like I have to find ways to internalize it. I have to find ways to readjust how I watch this thing I love. And Jeremy and Josh, so happy for them. And then James, I see on this show, like with all he does, like to turn the show around and put it up every week. For a long time, I recorded One Nation Radio and got it all up, and eventually like James took it over, and I was like, well, how can I like still contribute like on that end, like on the other side? And I was like, all right, I'm going to try to start this live streaming thing. And all of this has been like, I feel like we're laying a brick a day, and it's still not as like far as I want it to be, because like I always have, and maybe James can like attest to this, like I always have this hunger for more or whatever. Like I want to push it and keep trying to be better, trying to like expand and get more out there. And like as these opportunities come up, like it just makes me fulfilled, because when I grew up like when my parents separated, dove very much into my interests, and whether it's to my detriment to my real life today, maybe that's a thing I have to figure out or whatever. But like I always like I remember one time me and James had a conversation, and like he was like, we were talking about myself in comparison to like another local rapper, and he was just kind of comparing us. And I remember one time James said this other guy was like not afraid to fail or whatever, or do something that that maybe doesn't work out for him. And I was like kind of too rigid. I always remember that, and that has pushed me to like try. And his cousin Alex once said, if you give Rich like a piece of paper or a pen, like he can figure it out somehow, like whether it's the words or anything like that. So like it has been my objective and goal to be honest with the audience, to put myself into me and James's partnership on this show, and like be pure with this, like, and be like be basically like the best I can for everyone. Like yo, it doesn't matter who, what big name is out there in, just the podcast world and wrestling. Like we have ourselves, like we build ourselves up. Like I'm not worried about Dave Meltzer. Why? I have James Boyd next to me. I'm not worried about Brian Alvarez. I have Jeremy Donovan next to me, and, like I'm not worried about, the various historians. I can call the young boy Josh Smith, and he can figure it out for me, like that. And I feel like the team between all of us that we've worked on this, and I'm just talking from the head, so if I forget anybody, I apologize. But like it comes from One Nation Radio, like, and it births so much, and I take pride in it so much, like, and having women on the network, being black in doing this long before a lot of like other people popped up. And it's cool that they've popped up, done their thing. Some shows, they're wildly successful, more successful than us, more power to them. But I've got a lot in me to get out creatively, whether it's music, whether it's the show itself. And I'm just happy that I get to share it with the people that download this show. And thinking about, missing my dad a year later, and it's like I got, one of the few things that I have that I feel like isn't going anywhere until I want to change it is this show.
I think it was really well said and really heartfelt. And yeah, man, like I think this is the most committed thing I've done on a weekly basis ever in my life. I don't know about you, but like it's kind of crazy thinking of it that way. It's like, you know, done all sorts of different things in life, but it's like basically every single week for 12 years, except for, a few things here and there. Like I've been, you know, doing ridiculous stuff with technology to somehow make me enrich record audio. Like I think we talked about it last year is how unglamorous and how ridiculous the setup was, and it's a lot better now. But like it was a real DIY project, and 12 years later, um, like the show has changed. Stuff we talk about has changed, but like the essence of the show is just like me and Rich's friendship and whatever we have to talk about for however long we have together at that particular time to record. So like yeah, it's been fun, and it'll continue for now, but we'll I don't know how long this goes, but I'm having fun still doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. It's I think we have a great audience. I think we have a great Discord channel. Join if you haven't. Don't come kicking that fuck shit. I used the at everyone button the other day,
Oh God.
and you know, just say, hey, this is what's going on. We got 12 years in this thing, and what should we do? Essentially, when I do something like that, that's something called segment fishing, right? What do you guys want to hear us talk about? Y'all had some creative things. There was like your podcast is almost old enough to start training under Rossi Ogawa. There were a couple other funny ones in there. And there was someone that replied was like, "Yo, I don't care about your show. I don't care about your anniversary. I don't listen to it." And I basically responded and told that person, well, you can get the fuck out and deal with it, right? And for me, I just found that so like I felt two ways about it. I'm like, one, that's really fucking mean, and then and then two, it's like, oh shit, they're not really here for us, but the work that we did brought you here for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I can't be too upset. This hit me after, of course, I already cussed at the person and stuff like that. So my apologies.
It was funny because I hadn't even seen it. I just showed up in the reply because I saw it, and then all of a sudden I scrolled down two things after I said it, and I was like, "Oh, Rich is way more rude to that person than I was." So all right, it was already handled.
Yeah. So this has been such a journey and a ride. I'm always thinking of ways to get better, to make the show better, and I just hope it comes through every week. And how we do this thing, like I try to be like, yo, can't nobody do what we do and stuff like that, but it might be a fucking lie because like that, you can get your audio from anywhere. You can listen to a ton of great shows that are out there, but man, maybe we just different. Maybe that'll be our tag. Well, I don't claim to be better than anybody or anything, but we'll just be different than everybody. That'll work for me, and it feels like just like, man, if someone was to lay out all the hours of One Nation Radio, I don't know how long it would be, but this has been great doing, and I still look forward to it every week. And it's a really cool way to talk to James every week, more than I already do. So
Yeah,
it's I love doing this show, and I have started like doing like more stuff on my YouTube channel where I'm doing reactions and long form talking and shit like that, and I find it very easy. And people like have reached out and said they find that stuff that I'm doing on there, like they like it, they like how I speak and stuff like that. And I'm like, I got 12 years of practice essentially because of this show. I can just turn a mic on and start talking about things. So this has helped me a lot because like when I speak, I'm sure you guys hear it sometimes. There's a lot of ums and likes and stuff like that. This show helps me with that. So, and as far as being a flat out communicator, like when I do music, it helps. So, Slash Eyes basically says, or let's say we got a couple comments in here. Wasabi King, Liv Morgan will never win. King of the North says, I can truthfully say James Boyd got me fully into Joshi. Hearing him review shows got me wanting to watch it, and I've watched it ever since, on and off. That's what's up.
Wow. That's the nicest thing anyone ever said to me on this thing. Maybe we shouldn't get rid of the chat, Rich.
Slash Eye says, can we get y'all's top 5 O&R moments?
Oh God. How about we do this? We give each other's favorite moment from the other person on the show, right? Like I come up with my top 5 Rich Lotta moments on 1H Radio. You come up with your top 5 James Boyd moments on 1H Radio.
I
think that's easier.
I have a terrible moment or memory, but I am willing to try.
Oh God. Okay. All right. All right. So I think the definitive Alexa Bliss rant has to be on there, right? Like, I'm going to give you a list of the great Alexa Bliss matches. He paused for 10 fucking seconds. He goes, "That's the list." That was great. All right. So, Rich, what do you got?
I think when you were over in Japan and you were telling us the stories about the Japanese toilets and also getting lost and being in front of Tam Nakano and basically the birth of Nihon James.
Yeah. That was ridiculous. Okay, let's see. What else we got? Okay. Last year, after our review of WrestleMania 39, after Cody goes out there and fucking loses, and you say, you know what? He thought that he's gonna come in here and just become their fucking in 1 year, he's gonna become their champion. And then you said that once you saw the go home angle or whatever else with Roman Reigns is like, you were a failure, you left, and then you started another company, you left, you came back here, you finna fail here too. You were like, oh, he's losing. And then you were like, you know what? They probably smoked him in, thought he was gonna win everything. The shit was gonna be sweet. That full year is gonna be all great. 365. And you said that there was, there was a bug. If that room was bugged, after you walked out that door, it'd have been Vince, Triple H, Heyman, and Roman, and you zoomed in the camera. You said, "Got him. We fucking got him." That shit was fucking hilarious. That was great.
I will say, all right, let me think. There was, trying to think. There's 12 years ago through, so this is so hard on the spot.
Right. I'm only thinking like ones from like last few years, opposed to ones from like years ago.
Going into WrestleMania 35, I think this might have been on the FOH draft. James recaps the entire Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Ronda Rousey storyline without taking a fucking breath, like in like 20 minutes. The entire thing, yeah, like the entire thing, and just how ridiculous this shit was. Look that shit up if y'all haven't ever heard it.
Oh my god. Oh man. All right. Let's see what we got. 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 I am gonna go with. Let's see. I'm trying to think because it's hard. It's hard to think about all these years of stuff running together.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. When you went on your, there was one of the shows when there's a time when like I was just away because I think this is after WrestleMania 34. I was pissed off and it took me a few months. I was away. You were doing solo shows. I believe that you did. It's clipped up. It's actually like one of the most viewed, like top 10 or 20 most viewed things on Social Plus Network. When you did like a call to like gather around Braun Strowman to get these hand shit, because this is like right after he had beaten the shit out of Roman Reigns and then flipped the fucking ambulance truck over.
Yeah. I will say, I think James's review of when Sherry went back to back against Takumi Iroha and Momo Watanabe was phenomenal. It was like, just the way he basically went and just kind of put himself in Shuri's shoes and told the story of what was happening, like all time shit right there. Like I believe that's clipped up as well.
Yeah,
you guys can take a look at that.
Oh man, this isn't one particular moment, but this is like because Rich, you know, he has like the 2023 best of 2023 One Nation Radio clips. He has best 2024 One Nation Radio clips. There's also a playlist. There's two playlists of two particular wrestlers. And on our follow, we just talked about Cody, but like the whole part of like CM Punk's departure or from Brawl out to the time he leaves and ends up in WWE is like captured on like every clip we did with CM Punk and every little interaction on his way to ending back at the WWE at SummerSlam last year, or sorry, Survivor Series last year, is like Rich is like, shit ain't right. Shit ain't right. Shit's fucked up. Shit's going left. And the whole time he's calling like, this man finna back in WWE. And sure enough, he ends up in fucking WWE. That man's out there, you know, take a picture with Big Paul. Man, now he's fighting over charm bracelets.
Yeah,
and then after this happened, because we talked about this, I think one of my favorite personal rants that I've ever done on somebody was that SummerSlam match we did. The SummerSlam match between CM Punk and Drew.
Yeah.
Like you zoom in the camera, he's like, them chickens, they roosting. That shit was great.
I thought you were gonna say the SummerSlam 2023 review. I had a friend send me that just like this year.
About Jey Uso?
Yeah, I had a friend.
Jimmy?
I had a friend send me that over the weekend. And he was like, everything. He was like, I was watching some old shit of y'all, and he was like, everything y'all fucking said came true. Like in this shit. I think I don't know if this counts necessarily like for James, but like I'm just kind of talking. But they're mentioning it in the comments, the Swerve special appearance after he won the championship on One Nation Radio. That was a really cool thing that I didn't know was happening. I don't know if I ever like just flat told how it happened, but I think Swerve was driving. I think from either Orlando to Tampa or whatever from the gym or whatever the fuck because he was sweating, and I was like, yeah, I'm on air. Unless you want to call in. And then he was like, yeah, I'll call in. And this is the day after I was with him the day before in St. Louis or whatever, flew home, I think that afternoon, and then did the show that night. And he jumps on and he gives us 25 minutes of his time. And it was just like this impromptu thing that I think, people like really fucked with, and it was almost like this moment where it was like, yeah, man, we are a platform that, you know, a world champion will show up just like off the love, and it's not going through the company. It's not like anything. It's like, yeah, man, we connected out here a little bit. So that was cool. Um, they, you know, I like a lot of our guests that we've had on here that we gotta, get back on here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tanya. Man, Lyric coming on here was awesome. Trying to think some of our sports rants, like when we packed up the Boston Celtics in 2023, the All-Star game shit. A lot of the pretty much like navigating like everything from like the stuff about race in wrestling and shit like that. There's like a lot of shit that I'm like either proud of, I think is fucking hilarious, or whatever. Like, no, okay, Seamus Nova, not One Nation Radio, but yeah, I got to fucking interview Kenny Omega once. That was because of Swerve. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, what more could I ask for? Like, packing up Vince McMahon when James fucking popped the fucking bottle on the air or whatever, like going boop like that, like, and just completely,
Did I tell you I was gonna do that before it happened?
No,
Okay, I couldn't remember if I did.
you did not.
Fuck it, we celebrating.
Yeah. But yeah, like there's a lot of like dope stuff that is in the archive. I think you guys should check out. And James and the Booty Wash Station. That's what it was. From Japan. That's what it was.
What?
That's how it's literally named on the clip section.
You named it that?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's absurd. Like, why would you click on that? No, why would you click on that? James and the Booty Wash store? Huh? Who is James and what booty wash is going on?
I wasn't necessarily going for SEO on that one.
Oh yeah, best of 7.
The best of 7 stuff. Oh yeah,
your best is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, single-handedly like influencing the company to adopt NBA EW and that shit. That is that's a proud one right there. Let me see. I'm trying to think what else. I got one. Yeah, I think it was the G1 Finals of 2022 where James was like talking about Will Ospreay essentially, and like everything that Ospreay was doing, and like James like just basically like declared his allegiance. They're like, all right, man, I've been like holding it back or whatever, but nah, like this is the nigga. There's another funny one too. I'll just get back to that in a second. But Mojo Rawley with the crack with the face paint and the crack mirror promo. Fucking hilarious.
Yes. That was before we did streaming though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 2018, 19.
Bro, there's like a bunch of One Nation radios that you guys do not have on the feed because like we were also doing a show on Lords of Pain, but that feed is still active. If you go to Lords of Pain feed, you want to hear us break down WWE Raw and SmackDown every week from August 2018, like SummerSlam to WrestleMania 35 or just past that, or into May. It's the fall of WWE essentially, like, and it's me going crazier every fucking week watching Monday Night Raw because I'm meticulously writing notes. Like, I'm not just like reading a recap.
Right. And Rich had Raw, so he had the 3-hour show, and Raw was the worst show. I had SmackDown, it was 2 hours, and it was Becky Lynch and Charlotte carrying the thing. So it was much better.
Yeah. Zach Porter, he said, I died laughing at James calling him a sick man with a nasty agenda. Yeah. I gotta say, we're a very memeable show. I try to keep that in mind. The rant about Cody not wrestling The Rock at 4 a.m. in Australia. That's a great one. I think some of the stuff with Cody Rhodes on his way out of AEW is like pretty funny as well.
I mean,
Like James, like
So
like basically like when Cody Rhodes cuts that fucking promo, and then James is basically like, "How the fuck can you cut this promo? Like knowing the city you were born in, like bro, like that clip is still going crazy to this day."
Yeah, I see. It's always in the top thing and what or way up there. Like, look, man, that might be my favorite thing that I've ever done on the show. Me personally, as far as like, because there's a few rants where I've gone on deep in, like, but you're the rant guy. I kind of just I get in, I get out, or whatever, do my thing. That was one where it's like, Rich, you got to kind of move. This is